people streaming in, so we'll give it a few minutes before we begin. But it'd be great if everybody popping in the meeting can let us know where you're calling from and how are you feeling today. It's a really charged time out there. Every day there's something new. I know I'm in San Francisco, and the wildfires and what's going on in Wisconsin and around the world is just more upsetting news every day. So it would be just great to hear how people are doing right now. Amanda and SF, all right.
Pomona.
Oh no, Leahy's in Santa Cruz doing great work with the fire recovery there. Melbourne. Bali. Grass Valley, Oakland, Alaska, Toronto. Oh, I love this. Amazing. Nashville. I'm headed to Nashville in about a week. For a few weeks, maybe indefinitely. We'll see. Cool. Sausalito, amazing. Let's see. Let's give it about another minute and then we'll get going here. And then if people want to write, how are you feeling today? Whether one word or few words. I'm feeling
Get relaxed, grateful, scattered.
Scattered.
Grateful, inspired.
Hopeful. I'm hopeful today. Overwhelmed. Balanced. Well, thank you all for being here today, and thank you, Janet. So appreciative to welcome you to the Reimagine community and kind of combine our communities with Janet Sangha and Reimagine. If anybody has any issues with technical issues, feel free to go ahead and chat right here, or you can email hello@letsreimagine.org, and we have somebody monitoring that, so we can definitely help you out. My name is Zubin Desai, and I lead product and design at Reimagine. As a nonprofit organization, we spark community experiences just like this one that empower individuals, families, and communities to face the hardest parts of our existence, including illness and death, while inspiring people to celebrate life and one another. I met Janet during a very dark period of my life. I was going through, a personal identity crisis, and I wasn't sure if or when I would find the light. And somebody told me, oh, you should go check out this yoga class at Yoga Tree Castro. And I went to my first class with Janet, and I was crying at the end as we were chanting to Lord Ganesha, who's a Hindu elephant god, the remover of obstacles. I'm Indian American, and those were the same chants I heard my mom singing when I was much younger. And that moment was really bringing me back to my childhood in a way I hadn't experienced before. And I think it was that day or the next day, after one class with Janet, I signed up for her teacher training in Bali. I have to admit, I thought it was gonna be more of a kind of a chilled out retreat, but it was an actual teacher training. But I decided I was just gonna lean into the unknown. And through my practice, I've been able to deeply reconnect with my Indian heritage and really found yoga as my way back into rediscovering what it means to be Indian American. This experience in Bali kickstarted my spiritual journey, and it's really the catalyst and the reason I work for Reimagine today. I really feel like I'm on my dharmic path, and that's to be in service to others. In Bali, we had talked about Joseph Campbell's hero's journey, and this has helped me see the adventure of life in a whole new light. And I'm so honored on this stage of my own hero's journey, I'm able to introduce Janet to the Reimagine community. Quick intro on Janet. Janet's studentship began at 17 under the meditation teachings of Prem Rawat. His reverence for simplicity and finding joy in the rise and fall of life live on in her practice and teachings today. She shares from the alchemy of her own sadhana through bhakti yoga and the 8-limb path. In 1996, Janet traveled to India, the birthplace of her grandfather, and became dedicated to the path of yoga. Based in Bali and San Francisco, she leads immersions, retreats, workshops, and more. She's been teaching at Yoga Tree Castro in San Francisco for almost 20 years. I know a lot of her students are here today, and we are all missing that studio and community so deeply. But I'm so honored to welcome Janet, and thank you for being here.
Thank you, Zubin, for really the moment, whatever sparked for you, that you found me, and also for weaving this back together. And welcome to you all. Some names and faces in here I see and I recognize, some I don't. Really just to give you, before we begin into kind of a nourishing, restorative yoga practice, just a little bit of context about why I'd be sitting here with you today. And I think it has really to do with so much of my path toward yoga is actually informed by death. And the experience that I've had around loss in my life has allowed me to be exactly the student that I am, and also the practitioner I am, and also the teacher that I am, to sit near death and be with it as a body is coming and as a body is going. I'd say is probably one of the deepest teachings. And I am pained by it, my experience, but also really grateful for it. I've spent a good amount of time attempting to support hospice facilities and ways of using the yoga and this practice of emptying out in each exhale as a pathway to the inevitable emptying out of this body, right? So this is what we're up to. I'm gonna be here with you. You can chime in or write any comments that you want as we go. One thing I do want to ask is that it sounds like somebody's mic is on. And
I think it might be Josh's.
Perfect.
Because it's the only other person.
Well, that is who we need their mic on. And Joshua, this brings us to Joshua Miller, who's in this beautiful box here. And he's offered to guide us during this practice as a practitioner himself, and then also as a musician who offers sound baths and really a healing journey through his own practice and also through his music. So I'm super grateful to have him. Where are you coming in from, Joshua?
I am so grateful to be here tonight, coming from Maine at my parents' house where I've been for the last 2 weeks, and just super blessed to be joining the group tonight. Also share a lot of Janet's experience with loss, and it has definitely made me into the musician that I am today. So thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you for holding and carrying us through. So beautiful. Wherever you are, as you're ready, come have a seat. And as you have a seat, you can be cross-legged or you can sit in a chair. And we'll just begin by closing the eyes and let the hands just rest and settle down on the knees or the thighs. Eyes closed. We'll take a moment to pause here. Just feel our body taking a scan from the crown of the head, the surfaces of the body, as if you can wash the attention. We'll take the right hand toward the heart, the palm facing in. And then let the left fingertips maybe root down toward the ground. If you're on a chair, it just can be on the knee or the thigh. Eyes closed. Let's bring attention to those left fingers, whatever's touching either the earth, the ground, or your thigh or a chair. The vision of these left fingers is as if they could grow down below the floorboards, down into the dirt, deep below the surface of the dirt, into the soil. Your fingers are going that long, and maybe even your hands reach down into the dirt. And in that reaching and in that touching in of the soil, take a moment to feel into our ancestors, to our family, to those who have come before us. Every body, every being, animal or human that has ever been, born into a body, into life, eventually returns back to the earth, back into the soil. Each one of us will return back into the soil and become a part of the foundation of the earth. So when my left hand reaches deep down, touching into the soil, I not only pull up the wisdom of every being that has ever been, I pull up the wisdom of the billions of years of evolution that have allowed me to be here. That wisdom lives in my cells, in all of my bones. That wisdom lives in my thoughts. So I am that wisdom, and you are that wisdom. Our ancestors touched into that wisdom. You can visualize those who have come and gone, that you've known, that you've seen, how they become the earth again. They become the foundation of the living. And then that living will exhale eventually back into the earth. And then bring attention to the right hand. And underneath the right hand, the beat of your heart, the open and close, the thrum, the great distributor, right? As blood moves out through every corner of this body and then returns again on each beat. This heartbeat is your individuation, your I, me, and my, the here and now of it. This heartbeat is the rhythm of your unique life journey. Not one of us knows how long it is, how long we get, how long this dance will go. And so while we're here, begin to open our attention inward to that incredible dance, that rhythm inside our own being. want to do with this dance, this rhythm? How do we want to spend it when we're thinking? In the spans of our day, of our weeks, months, years. Let the left fingers grow deeper and deeper still. The right hand push in even deeper. We'll pull the left fingers almost as if they're pulling up out of the dirt, out of the earth, out of the soil, and meeting in prayer at the heart. Left hand, right hand, earth, that grounding, that foundation with that beating heart. Make a little space in between, right? It's not mashed together. Almost like you're holding the sacred soil and holding the beat of the heart in your very hand. We'll reach the arms up, so out wide and up. And keep the arms open a little wider than the shoulders. And look lightly up if you can, if your body's up for it, or you can just look lightly forward. This is a moment as we look up to let float out in a way, maybe one or two of our expectations. A lot of our suffering comes from us expecting it to be a different way, humanity to be a different way, the systems, the politics, the life, the body. And so in this moment, we free ourselves of those expectations just for a moment. Between the two hands, we receive instead what we are being offered, this breath, this heartbeat. Bringing the hands to prayer and pull that prayer down to the third eye center. So that just means the two thumbs touch between the eyebrows. Tilt the head up, elbows stay open, two eyes are closed. Face soft, as if in this moment when my thumbs touch that space at the forehead, I can drink in the wisdom of all times. Wisdom of the sky, of the clouds, of the weather, of space, air. And that prayer comes down to the mouth. This gesture, may I speak and listen from this wisdom. May I both speak and listen from this wisdom. Hands come to prayer at the heart, we return home. May we find a pathway through this practice back to the heart again and again and again. We take the fingertips down on either side, like we're gonna let them deep again, dive into the roots of the ground, and drop the left ear toward the left shoulder. Imagine you're flattening the back up against a wall. Maybe you actually are. You can stay here, take the left fingertips to that right ear and draw it over lightly. If that's too much, then just keep the fingers down. Let gravity do her work without force. Breathing along the right side of the neck. Slowly bringing that left hand back down. Keep the left ear toward the left shoulder. Reach the right arm up level with the right shoulder and spin the palm up. And open that hand lightly back. And stay here or swoop it up and over. Slowly come back up. Right fingertips root, right ear to the right shoulder. Stay here, add the right hand. During this practice together, we're going to give particular focus to our exhales. Exhale, the gesture of emptying out, being willing not to hold on to, freeing ourselves of that grasp, that grip, clearing out. You can bring the right hand down, the left arm up level with the left shoulder. If you'd like, spin the palm up. If you flex out through the hands, you get this little flossing of the nerves from the pericardium, holds around the heart sac all the way out. And you can bring it up and over. So this journey during this practice is really meant to nourish the nervous system. Slowly come back up. Wrap the hands around the knees or the shins, curl in, chin in, kind of like we sit in chairs, sadly. Yeah, it's rounded, but in a different way, in that we're pulling the front body toward the back. Push in the knees or shins, curl up like a string to the center of the heart, lifting up. Throat is soft and drawing down. Exhale in. Take care of your body throughout this practice. And again, push in the knees or shins and look up. Just keep going. In and open. I'll go. Last one. Come back to neutral. We'll start making circles on the ground with the sacrum. So you can see a little rotation through my low spine. Pulling breath as you inhale deep into the sacrum, spiraling it around. Deep inhales all the way at the base. Exhales, it ascends back up through the spine. Let's change directions. So if you wind it one way, wind it the other. Going back again, let's add and make it a little bit bigger, adding mid-back. So you're getting movement, invoking that synovial fluid, like along the spinal column. So when we get into fear, when we start to grip into fear, the spine grips and the fluid dehydrates. Yeah? There's been so much fear as of late. Anxiety and fear. Let's change directions. You can add the neck and the head as well. If that's too much, just keep the neck more stable. Beautiful. Last big circle. Let's come back up toward neutral. Bring the hands back behind us, feet out in front. Bring the chin into the chest, round the back again, push in. You can either keep the hips down, lift the heart up, or lift the hips up. Again, exhale, come down, chin in, belly in. Inhale, lift up. Exhale to empty. inhale. Let's go, last one. Bring it on down. We'll bring that right ankle on top of that left knee. You can spin the fingertips around. Lift up through the heart, like you're gonna come into a little cobra. It's this upper back bend. And then curl in. See if you can get the forehead to that right shin. We'll just go a few more to open. And curl in. Last one, forehead down toward the shin. And we'll go back up again. Let's change it out. Opposite foot. Lift up, that little heart opener, and curling in. Focus on the depth of the exhales is a momentary reminder, moment by moment, of emptying out. Last one. Return the feet back to the earth. We'll just make some side-to-side motion. You can either keep the hands down or you can bring the hands up and go opposite elbows, opposite side. Yeah, otherwise, just hands back. Just drop outer hip to outer hip. We'll come back through center. Come into Malasana, this yogic squat. Hopefully you'll have either some books around or maybe you want to sit on blocks here. Otherwise, you're just hovering in space. Yeah. Do what feels most nourishing to the body. As you exhale, curl in. Let the pointer fingers touch in on the forehead. So again, the front body contracts to the back. Push the feet in. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, it goes in and opens. Even if it's a small exhale to empty, elbow tips go heavy, curling in. And a small lift through the collarbones. And so much of the movement is pulsation based. The in and the open. Now bring the hands down. Let's fold in. You might need to take the feet wider. Maybe you'll need to bend the knees. And let's just keep the hands down. And almost like you're making a sand sculpture with your fingers, just moving them side to side, just drawing in the sand. Let the head hang heavy. The hair goes soft if you've got some. The lips soft, the eyes soft. This is just a conversation in the back body and with the ground. The conversation happening through the feet, back into the ancestors, the family, the roots of our evolution. This brief moment we're here in this body. Incredible power we have of life. We'll come back towards center with the knees bent and we'll roll up slowly. Fingers soft like you're not gripping anything. One vertebra at a time, keep the hands, fingers heavy, roll up and exhale, bend in. Look up. till the very end. Then head goes low. Set it down. Inhale again, roll up, round up, slowly. Curl up. And exhale, back down. We'll come through this about 3 or 4 more times, just washing one vertebra at a time. Beautiful, slowly come on up. And we'll just rock a little side to side. So you let the hands just move as they move. Try to keep the hips a little bit more facing forward. And so it's really happening a lot in the shoulders and upper body. Keeping this softness. Sending the messages to the vagus nerve, to the pituitary, that we are safe when you do the audible exhales. Almost like a humming sound through the nose, or just make an audible sound. Slow it down. Beautiful. Bring the hands up to the heart. And open the palms here, yeah? So like you're holding something precious at the heart. And for me, I imagine not only my heart, but the heart of all of my loved ones, and how my hands hold that with such tenderness. And as I exhale, give a little bend in your knees, a little weight in the feet. As you inhale, we'll open that love, those hearts all the way around us. So it's a full 360. Thumbs touch, fingers touch, wrap the elbows in, and then we'll slowly bend the knees, bring the hips level with the knees as you come down. Yeah, hands to prayer at the heart, pause here. If you've got this, if you need support, then find a modification, you can keep it up much higher. Reach the arms out in front of you, stand up, reach up, look up. Hands will come down across the forehead, the mouth, the heart. Palms will open, resting here. Inhale, then open, hands around you, making the space, feeling all of that love around the thoughts, the mind, across forehead, mouth, and heart. As you come in halfway, pause. Extend if you want to extend, or keep the hands in prayer. Rise up. Let's come through a few more rounds like this. Forehead, to our mouth, our speech, back home to our intention. Open it up, giving and receiving evenly. Open. Halfway in. Extend. Rise up. And forehead, thought, speech, listening, heart. Open. Last one. We'll bring the hands down under the shoulders here, and we'll make little circles so you feel almost like the shins are stirring up in your ankles. For me, so much of being present with my own life, which means even loss of loved ones, is feeling into my here-ness, my bones, my foundation. Exhale, let's fold it in. We'll root the hands down, step the feet back into a downward facing dog. Take care of yourself here, any modification you need. Otherwise, we'll just bend one knee and then bend the other. first here, connecting back body, which is said to be our infinite body, with our front body, which is said to be the here and now, the expressor. We'll come up on the balls of the feet, bend the knees, let them land down on the ground, keep the toes curled under, look forward and up. Energetically, the hands pull back toward the knees, the belly to the spine, and then exhale. Let's draw it back, downward dog. We'll just move between those spaces. If you'd rather keep the knees down the whole time, it looks like cat-cow. Otherwise, it's downward dog cow. Let's come through 3 more. Long, slow exhale, signal to the body that you're in a place you can trust. Keep the knees down, untuck the toes, curl in, chin in, round in. So everyone coming into cat, open again. Beautiful, let's stabilize, keep the hips over the knees, walk the hands forward. You can let the forehead soften down toward the earth. But we're going to create anchors at the sacrum and through the fingers. And in that, maybe the vertebra rock like a hammock a little side to side, like a little breeze is coming along. So a little movement side to side, little lateral movement. And maybe now the sacrum wants to add just by rotating in small circles, like you're drawing a circle on the wall back behind you. The disconnect often from our lower half and our upper half. Doing our work to reconnect with breath. And then the back of the heart receives your deepest breath. Pull the breath into the back of the heart, sip it in, sip it in, sip it in. Open the mouth, exhale. Let's go again, inhale, sip it again, sip it a little bit more, sip a little bit more, open the mouth. Let's look between the thumbs and pull ourselves through into Sphinx, hips down. Elbow tips hug back. Collarbones open wide. Curl in, chin goes into the chest. Maybe the belly lifts, maybe it doesn't. Maybe you bring the knees up, but just a little bit of chin in. Curl the belly back and then forward and up. So you decide, chin in, curl in. Inhale, open. So when you look up, the eyes look between the eyebrows. Just kind of looking back into our clear seeing. Life as life is, birth and death, love and loss, sick, healthy. Beautiful, we'll lower it down. Hands under the shoulders. Let's sit back on our heels. Slide the hands back by the feet. Inhale, curl the heart open, lift up, pour the belly over the thighs, fold in. So notice lots of fluid movement, lots of pulsation of open and close. Inhale, round up. Open. And exhale, pour in. Couple more. Inhale. Inhale, come back up. Interlace the fingers, push the palms forward, chin in, look in. Inhale, palms rise up. You can either keep the hips down or lift the hips up. And then as you exhale, lower it back down, chin in. Lifting through the palms. Keep the hips down as you lift this time. We'll make circles on the ceiling. Getting in and around, upper back. Any grief in the lungs, maybe there's some space on the depth of those long exhales. Feel it fully. Last one. Beautiful. Releasing the hands down. Let's come into hands and knees. And push the ball, the right foot up to the sky, back behind us. We'll scoop it in toward the chest and just roll it out to the right and around. We'll make a few more circles like that. This time, step that right foot just outside the right hand. Lean that left thigh down. Again, take it as you can. No pressure, no rushing. You can come up on the fingertips if you've got that space. Curl the heart lightly forward and up. Just drink it in as you exhale. If you've got the space, bend the elbows. Maybe reach down. Maybe you want to kiss the earth where the fingers were rooted in and come back up. And open. We'll do that a couple more times. Down. Back up. Bring that left hand and root it down. Spin the right toes open. Maybe the right hand pushes in that upper right thigh. Maybe you got space to bring the left elbow down as you open that right knee slightly. Twisting that upper body, the shoulder open. Stay here or bend the left knee and right hand reaches back for it. Slow, deep, long breath. So much of the journey of moving through the body with breath consciously is to dig into these small corners that hold old traumas, old patterns, fears. Some of them ours, some of them not ours, some that came down in the line before us. Go ahead and release it out. We'll step back to the hands and the knees. We'll make big circles this time with the hips way over to the right. Circle back by the heels and up the left side. So just keep making these big circles. Close your eyes. Let the lips go soft, the jaw go soft. Much of the ego is expressed in the jaw. So a lot of people with tight jaws these days, grinding their teeth, anxiety. So as often as you can, catch yourself, release any tension in the jaw, release the face, the palate, the tongue. And let's stabilize once again, base of that left foot up to the sky. Big circles, just floating on Joshua's offering. We'll take a big step, left foot outside the left hand, sink the right thigh down. Up on the the fingertips to curl open. Exhale in. Open. So in some way, the fact that I'm delayed is sort of perfect today, yeah? This is the big slow down. It's like my body is trying to catch up to the energy or my mind, or it's trying to slow my mind down, who knows? So I'm on delay. This time, come on up, we open. Root the right hand down, spin the left toes open. Either right hand stays or come onto the right elbow. Give that inner left thigh, if you'd like, a little extra. Spinning the left ribs open, stay here, or left hand or strap to that right foot. Beautiful, releasing it out. If you've got any pillows here, we're going to come into pigeon. So if there's any way, maybe blocks or books where you can support your pigeon, meaning I'm going to sit on a block on my left hip. I want you to be in as soft a place as possible. I might use actually these blankets as well, kind of like little double stacked pillows. So when I pour myself forward, I can fully rest here, right? I'm not straining. Not trying to get deep into something, just resting fully. And often if you place a little something underneath here so that the kidneys can puff up, then you've got that extra healing. The kidneys that are always trying to sort out the poisons, the toxins that come our way, regulate our hormones through the adrenals. Get a moment to have space, breath, and air it out just as much as possible. Let yourself melt here. Those of you who have sandbags, just magically, you can place one across the low back or deep onto that left hip. Be here for a couple minutes. Set yourself up so it almost feels like you can take a nap here. The hips are sort of like the trunk of a car, right? All of our excess gets stored in there. Things that we don't tend to just end up hanging out in that space. So with each inhale and each exhale, as if we're willing to go in there, open it up, have a look. bringing it up. You can simply change sides, or maybe it's not as simple, who knows? Creak it out. You can roll the hips in circles if you want that moment. When you're ready, right foot goes forward, or opposite leg, whatever you're on. Take the time, set it up. So as you settle in, same here. Find a place where you can really be fully in it. Dig in. Let a releasing of the tongue, the root of the tongue, the palate, the jaw, behind the eyes. Again, the deep exhales, the deep emptying. As you're ready, bringing it back, hands and knees. We'll make some circles here once again. Eyes are closed. Slow it down. Let's cross the ankles back behind. Sit back behind the feet. Bring the feet out in front. Bring the base, the feet together, the knees open. You can lean it forward. What I'm going to do is, since I have some blocks here, I'm going to use them to help me out a little bit. Maybe a block here, and maybe one here. So that as I lean forward, it's not so much about the effort of Baddha Konasana in that stretch. It has a little bit more to do with just an ability to hang forward and rest in. Yeah. If you have some way to just let yourself fall lightly forward. Some couch cushions, whatever you got. Feels like the frontal lobe, the spin of the thoughts somewhere in the forehead, just gonna drain out, pouring down. Slowly come back up. Come onto our back. We're gonna look for a way to take a spinal twist. Kind of easy going though. So I'm gonna keep my blankets, or maybe you keep your pillows nearby. As I come onto my back, I'm gonna pull my left knee into the chest and cross it over just so it rests on the blankets. Yeah. So I'm not trying to get it down, it's not hovering in space. As much as it feels like that leg can relax, release completely, beautiful. And then if you can, look toward the left, the opposite direction. And sort of suggesting to the fascia, the connective tissue, this unwinding of tension patterns, the clearing out in the kidneys, wringing out of tensions, toxins. Focus on the exhales, long, slow exhales. Nothing to accomplish, nothing to achieve, the presence of being. And let's slowly bring it back through center. You can move your support, change sides. Slow exhales. Let's bring it slowly back towards center. If you can come onto your back, hug the knees into the chest. We'll make little circles around the sacrum. Or you can make bigger ones. And have you roll to your right side and slowly come seated. Let's see if we can set ourselves up either for a supported Shavasana. So I bring you up so you can have a look. Maybe you'll have something underneath your knees. So The knees can be bent, in which case maybe you even have something rolled up a little bit under your ankles so they feel like they float. And then maybe even you can wrap them for warmth. You come back on your back in this case and rest all the way back for Shavasana, supported. The other variation is a form of supported Supta Baddha Konasana. The blanket's stacked. Back behind you. Maybe blocks for underneath the knees. If you've got an eye pillow, I'm gonna beg and plead. Maybe you've got a scarf or a little towel or a fuzzy kitty cat you can put over your eyes. And once in either of those variations, really try to set yourself up so it feels incredibly supported. For a moment that you're not doing. Once you're there, you're not controlling. You're not managing everything, anything, manipulating anything, trying to think or not think. You're just here. Breath comes in, it breathes you, and it breathes out. So even the control of the breath goes away. And you are being breathed by the breath. In the Bhagavad Gita, one of the most read spiritual teachings, this journey of Krishna, who shows up as a chariot driver, and his student Arjuna, who shows up as a warrior needing to head into battle. And in the conversation about death and about where to find the infinite, the grace, the God, the one, Arjuna is stressed, worried about killing or dying. And Krishna says to Arjuna, he says, and when he sees me in all, and sees all in me, then I never leave him and he never leaves me. And he who in this oneness of love loves me in whatever he sees. And in truth, wherever this being may live, he lives in me. As we rest in this final posture, a version of corpse pose, a body done, fighting, doing, making, tearing down, making, tearing down. We return back to the wisdom of the earth, of evolution, of time. Pay attention to sensation only, not thoughts. Sensation, the temperature of your body, the surfaces your body rests on. skin, what rests on your skin. Almost the sensation where we no longer need this body. Those we've known who have had to surrender their body. Deep internal exhale. If you want, you can slowly begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Maybe you'll want to come seated with the eyes closed back into that first mudra, right hand on the heart, left fingertips rooted into the earth. We'll come through one round of the Maha Mrityunjaya, which is really the mantra of being in that moment willing to release our attachments. This can include to the body or to someone we love's body, the body of politics, whatever it is that we are attached to in this moment. And then we'll go into Bom Shiva, and it's B-O-M, Bom. It's the seed, the bija, the seed sound of Shiva, which is the power in charge of creation and destruction. Om Triyambakam Yajamahe Sudandan Pushtivardhana Urva Amiva Banana Mrityur Mukshya Bom Shiva Bom Shiva Bom Shiva Bom. If you can with me, a couple rounds. Bom Shiva Bom Shiva Bom Shiva Bom Bom Shiva Bom Shiva Bom Shiva Bom. Three more. Bom Shiva Bom Shiva Bom Shiva Bom Bom Shiva Bom Shiva Bom Shiva Bom Om Shiva Bom Shiva Bom Shiva Bom Triyambakam Yajamahe Sudandan Pushtivardhana Amiva Banana Mrityur Mukshya Amrita. Om Shiva, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. So I want to open it up for anyone who has anything